Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're seeing my face in my pajamas or hearing my voice. Welcome. Today is day 142. I had to look because sometimes I don't remember. Today is 142 of me sharing my new adventure, what I'm up to. My name is Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. In case we haven't met yet, go ahead and comment in the comments below or send me a message that says hashtag pajama, and then I'll know it's the first time that we're meeting. I like to meet new people. I think it's fun and exciting. Ever since I was a little girl, since I was a really little girl, like a toddler, my mom always likes to tell this story that I would loop my thumbs through my belt loops and my pedal pushers because unlike the other girls, I pretty much always had on pedal pushers or just crop pants. Pedal pushers or shorts or pants, and I was like the greeter of the neighborhood. There were tons of kids in my neighborhood growing up, like 30 some kids right in a little area, and we all played together. And whenever a new kid would come to town, she said I would loop my thumbs and I would say, "Are you friendly?" And if they were friendly, they could come play with us, and if they weren't, then I would chase them away. So I guess I've always been kind of a bossy young woman, or now I'm a bossy old woman. Today, I like to share every day because I'm journaling and keeping track of what I'm doing to transition from the very traditional corporate brick and mortar world to the online world. I started my first business when I was 13, and since then I've always had some kind of businesses going on the side, but I also in that same time period spent over 25 years in corporate America as a corporate quality manager, executive. You move up through the ranks in corporate America. And I ended as a corporate quality vice president. Ooh, big titles, right? I loved my job. I loved being a quality professional. It's in the way that I got to define it. A lot of times people think of quality and they think it as just inspecting or bossing people around and telling them everything that's wrong. But I approach quality from a very different aspect, in a very different way, which is the same way I pretty much approach everything in life. To me, quality is everyone's job, and it takes everyone working together to create quality goods and services for our customers or the people that we serve. And our customers are indeed, hopefully, the people that we serve. If you approach your business and your life with a service mentality and how can I help you, what can I do for you, what can I make or provide or teach or show you that will make your life better, your life awesome? That's my purpose. So I am transitioning from that traditional world to the online world because I've always wanted to have more time to myself, more free time. I've always wanted to be more in control of my own life and destiny than I allowed myself to be in the brick and mortar world. So as I had an opportunity to transition and transform about a year and a half ago, I decided I was going to jump in with both feet to the online world of internet marketing, internet commerce, internet being in existence, so that it would afford me the opportunity to do the traveling I want to do all of the things I want to do, and mostly to impact more people. Because I found I could have an impact on a few thousand people in an organization, but my ambition and what I really want to do and how I know I'm supposed to show up in the world is much bigger and broader than that. It isn't just helping people one-on-one. It isn't just being in a rut and playing small. And I think a lot of us, as we get older, we come to that realization that is this all there is? I should be doing more. I should be feeling more. I should be experiencing more. And when we get that inkling and that feeling, lots of people will just shove it down or cover it up with some other thing: eating, alcohol, television, smoking, whatever kind of escape or way of numbing themselves so that they don't feel that feeling. Me, I just head right into that baby and I figure out, okay, what am I going to do to change that feeling into what I really want it to be? What am I going to do to get excited about this? So I'm doing a couple of things. Number one, I'm learning how to do live video so that I can share my journey with other people, because I guarantee I am not the only one going through this. I am especially, I'm sure, not the only woman my age who's, divorced, sold her business, or transitioning her business, or looking for another challenge, looking for another way to show up in the world, looking for something exciting and new to learn, to grow personally and do. So today I was thinking about the first hour of my day. What do I do the first hour of my day? Now, that's different than what I normally would do the first hour of my day. And that's intentional and on purpose right now. Normally the first hour of my day, I would, and I up until just recently as I've started creating these videos and doing the things I'm doing to get my voice out there in the world, I would do my morning routine. I would get up, I'd meditate, I would go through my 7-minute, I call it a booster, my 7-minute booster. And I have a whole morning ritual that I go through. And then I would have, some lemon water, and I would get out in nature and go for a walk. Usually in the summer, go to the state park, or at home in the winter, because I live in Wisconsin. A lot of times I'm walking on the treadmill. I do not run. You'll learn that about me. I do not run. And I'll tell you that's a story behind that for a very, very good reason now. But that is what I like my morning to look like. But since I made a commitment to myself earlier this year that I was going to get over my fear of doing videos so that I could get out there and share myself with the world a little bit more, as scary as that is, I've decided that I need to produce content and I need to make videos. So I do a series of 4 different videos every morning. It's not always 4, it's usually 3. For the better part of this year so far, it's been 3 every day. Sometimes it's been 4, sometimes it's been 5. I think yesterday morning in my adorable braids, I did 7 Facebook Live videos because I'm doing a couple of different projects. And today it will probably be, this is my 3rd video, but I will do 1 for my group coaching call, so that'll be 4. I will do 1, 2, or 3 for my Facebook page that I'm creating called Supersize Your Business. I'm creating a scavenger hunt on the front end of that. And the quickest way for me to create content is by making videos about that content. So I did 3 for that yesterday. So I'll probably do 2 for sure for that today, maybe 3. It'll depend how much time I have. There's some chaos going to break out in my morning here. And that's why I quickly got up, put my hair in little, I don't know what you'd call these, Princess Leia doggy ears or puppy dog. My daughter always called them puppy dog ears. So I have my puppy dog ears and just started doing my videos because I have made a commitment to myself that I will do at least these 3 pieces of content every day. The sharing what I'm doing, what's working now as I'm transitioning and what's not working now to my online world. And I do have a fun story to share with that from yesterday. And then I do a morning daily scare share, which is an exercise. It started out for me, and now I'm sharing it with others to get out of the rut that I had been living in. You know how sometimes we get into that comfortable routine? Well, I was in a really boring, comfortable routine, and I needed to get out of that. So I started doing something out of the book called Do One Thing a Day That Scares You. It's like a journal-style book where it gives you little challenges every day to stretch your comfort zone. And I started doing that, but instead of just writing the book like I had in the past and then I quit doing it, I knew I needed to do videos. So I committed to myself that I would do a video a day about the daily lesson from this book, Do One Thing a Day That Scares You. And I call it my daily scare share, and I just call it daily scare share because sometimes the things in that are freaking scary. I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes I don't relate to them at all. But the most scary ones are the ones where they just have blank lines. And you have to figure out for yourself what you're going to do to stretch your comfort zone. They're the scariest, but they're also my favorite because they challenge me the most. They make me think the most about what do I need to do next to move me ahead, to break through the edge of that comfort zone that I've wrapped around and cocooned myself in. So that's the other piece. And then another piece I do is just for fun, and it's called Pajama Grandma. Since I've always wanted to make a living in my pajamas, and I actually love wearing my robes and pajamas, and I found myself early this year spending a very long time each day in my pajamas because with your online businesses, you can kind of get away with that. And so I discovered that I was, it might be, I'm not even going to say what time because it would be embarrassing for me, but it was well after noon, many days, that I would find myself still in my pajamas, especially the days that I create content in the morning instead of exercising first thing in the morning. Normally, in the past, I would get up and I'd throw on my exercise clothes first thing in the morning. Well, I didn't have to do that anymore, so I found that I was wearing my pajamas longer and longer and longer. And so I've just morphed into who I really am. And some people can't relate to it. They're like, because I coach businesses on business strategy, and they're like, well, how the heck can some old lady in her pajamas teach me anything about business and coach me on business? And I actually have decided that I'm embracing that and using that as my filtering technique, because the type people that don't get it or don't even ask the question to understand why I show up as I am and show up in my pajamas or my robe, if they're not even willing to ask that question or try to understand it, then they're the people I don't want to work with. I've worked with too many of them in the past, and I've learned that life is too short to work with, especially in a helping capacity, anybody that doesn't appreciate it, that doesn't get it, and that doesn't want to be a good, kind, awesome person. So I only work with good, kind, awesome people now. And that leads me to a quick story I want to share. Last week was a big week of working with people that had been, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner is this up and down thing, right? We all think we're going to start our business, everyone's going to love it, we're going to be an overnight success and a billionaire. Well, I have never met an overnight success, a real overnight success. Now, a lot of people will present their story to you as if they're an overnight success, but most of them are a 10-year overnight success, or a 15 or 20 or 30 or 40-year overnight success, because we only tell parts of our story. We only share parts of our story that are appropriate. Think of television, a television sitcom. If you were to watch a television sitcom and they recorded absolutely every minute of someone's actual day in existence, it would be boring as hell, right? Nobody wants to hear all the details of what you ate for breakfast, when you go to the bathroom, what the kids say, what the spouse or significant other says every minute of every day. They definitely don't want to know what you're thinking every minute of every day. You don't want to know what I'm thinking every minute of every day, because the vast majority of my thoughts are just boring and random, right? So who wants to participate in all that? So in a sitcom, they just show you what's important to the story. It's the same with everything else we do. We tell stories, we present ourselves and our businesses based on what is appropriate for the people that we're talking to, for the audience. If I'm talking to my best friend about something, I'm going to tell her a different story than if I'm talking to the president and the board of directors of a Fortune 100 company, because the audience is so different and what we're talking about, the topic is so different. And we always need to take that into account and be cognizant of that. So we also need to remember that when we're seeing things on social media, it is people's highlight reel. It's either their highlight reel or it's their low light reel. And both of them are intentional. For most people, they're intentional. And that is what we need to keep in mind when we're sharing ourselves and sharing our story, and especially when we're observing what other people are saying and doing and the stories that they're sharing. We need to understand that that is just a little piece of who they are in their journey. Every person that looks like an overnight success, number one, be super excited for them and their success. But also, don't compare yourself where you are right now to them at the pinnacle of their success. Because if you go back and if you had a conversation with them, and if you asked them a really honest, truthful conversation, you would find out all of the work and energy and the changes and the growth and the things that that person had to go through to get that success. And it's never, I woke up one morning and I'm a billionaire. It's not. It's this person did a whole lot of things. They studied and learned a whole lot of things. They tried and they took action and they did a whole lot of things. And the vast majority of those whole lot of things were absolute flippin' failures. But then they learned each time, or they learned from those mistakes and they learned from those failures, and voila, overnight success. So whenever you're seeing an overnight success, guess what? There is really no such thing. So don't be duped into believing and then comparing yourself to other people thinking that there is. Okay, that's my overnight success rant. Now, so the conversation that was coming up, and I'm talking repeatedly, at least 4 of my coaching clients, we had not the exact same conversation, but it was so similar that a light bulb went off in my head, and it said, you need to address this. You need to help all 4 of these people through this because the answer is super simple. And then you need to show other people because everybody needs to know that this is super simple. If 4 people are showing you that they're struggling with this, then guess what? That probably means that in my little ClickFunnels world of the 120 or 130,000 people that are on the ClickFunnels closed Facebook group, I would be willing to wager that 100,000 of them are struggling with this question or thought and haven't started even using ClickFunnels yet because they don't know how, or they've dived in, they've spent a ton of time of energy trying to figure it out and figure out what to do and understand and go through all the information, which I'm telling you, we all need to do that as part of our personal transformation to get success. We all have to go through that journey, and how we go through that is different for each of us, but there are ways to go through that are really less painful than trial and error and figuring it out ourselves. And so I'm going to give you the number one key, the number one thing that you really need to think about and do and create for yourself as you get started so that you begin doing something important that will lead you to financial success and happiness and less stress right off the bat. And that is, you need to create a way to get your ideal customers coming to you. Now that sounds really complicated, but it's super simple. All you need to do is create a 2-page lead magnet, or 1-page. It can be a 1-page lead magnet if you want. And a lead magnet is just something that attracts people to you, the people that you want to serve and help and work with. And I actually did a demo of that on Facebook Live, it's available on Facebook Live. I think you can just search it out, or I can put the link below. But that's not even important. What's important is that you do that. You find a way to attract people that you want to work with to you, because then you can form alliances. You can help them for free to show them what you're capable of, and that gives you your stories and testimonies to build upon. You can have the confidence in knowing that if you can attract the people that you want to work with to you, then you can show other people how to do the exact same thing. And that's where you start. We all need to start by building up a group of people that know, like, and trust us, that follow us, that want to grow with us. And maybe it's just you're attracting a group of people that want to watch you go through your journey, that want to see how you do it so that they get encouraged and believe that they can do it too. One of the best things we can do is be the example for other people. And that's part of why I'm making this video, is so I can show other people the stuff I'm struggling with, the stuff that's worked, the stuff that's not, the stuff that's frustrating me, and then the stuff that really is work. So you know that I'm not even going to pretend I got it all figured out. I certainly don't. Like in life, come on, people. Who's arrogant enough to believe that they've got it all figured out? Nobody. I mean, well, some people are arrogant enough to believe they've got it figured out, but then those are the people that, really don't have it figured out. Because guess what? Life is one big, massive, exciting experience. It's for us to experience and grow and become the best version of ourselves that we can be. So that is my little rant and diatribe today. What am I working on today? Obviously, I'm making my content. I'm working on the scavenger hunt for my Supersize Your Business group, my private closed group. I caught up yesterday on everything. I was so proud of myself. I didn't realize how behind I was. And again, these are just commitments I've made to myself. I'm creating several, of course, because I always do several of everything. I've got 4 different that go along with the videos I'm creating, 4 different, again, to build relationships with the people that come to me through my lead magnet. And if you want to know how to do that, I'll give you mine free. Just put hashtag customers or clients or patients or whatever they are for you, put that behind a hashtag, and I will send you that free share funnel, because everybody should have one. And then if you want, I can make a quick video that shows you how to customize it. If you just, I'll ask you a couple questions, and if you give me the information, I will, about who you really serve, what you do, what you want to do, if you haven't ferreted that out yet or figured that out yet because you're brand new, and the type of people you want to work with, that you really love working with and want to work with, because you might as well set your own business up for success right off the bat. And that's by creating the rules for your life and your business that work for you, because you get to. That's why I love having my own businesses, because I get to make my own rules, and I kind of make my own rules anyway. So now I'm just structuring it in a way that feels a little bit more honorable to other people. Because they get to make their own rules too. But most people don't know we get to make our own rules and create our own lives. And it's pretty powerful and fun when you figure that out. So I'm doing that, and then my daily scare share. But I'm putting those into an email series or a way to communicate and drip that information out to people that come in contact with me. So if somebody brand new comes into my, let's say, daily scare share world, or this actually, let's use this as an example, because these are kind of long, but these are me documenting my journey. If somebody is like me and they were and they don't have to be like me, but if somebody wants to follow and watch what I'm doing, if they're in the brick and mortar world and they really want to get into the online world and they don't want to make all the mistakes I've made and have it take a year and a half to really get momentum and going, then they can go back and listen, and they won't go back a year and a half, because I wasn't smart enough last year to know when I began this journey that I should be documenting the whole journey. And I frankly was too scared to do it. Everybody was telling me, do it, document, keep track of. And I did it in notebooks and in writing. And maybe I'll go back and make some videos about that, and because videos are easier and faster to create. Or maybe I'll find a way to write that all up in my blog or something and share that with people, because some of it was really challenging and really hard. And people need to know that every day isn't going to be sunshine and roses. Some days are going to be challenging. That is called life. But it's what we do when faced with those challenges that determines whether we're going to succeed or not. I like to say that the universe loves to test us, because it does. When we say or decide that we want something, all of a sudden the strangest things will start happening. Weird things that you could never imagine will start popping out of the woodwork, and you'll be like, what? I don't get this. And it won't have anything to do with the decision or the choice that you've made. It'll be things out of left field that you're like, you can't even understand how they're connected. But they are the universe's way of testing us to see if we're serious and if we really want and are committed to what we say we want or what we think we want. And if we are, we'll keep moving toward that. If we're not, we'll quit, and then the universe knows, they were just kidding. So go out, make it an awesome day. I've got some amazing things I need to jump into. Mainly clothes today. I'm actually getting dressed today. Got to go somewhere. So go out, make it a fantastic day. And I, of course, will see you tomorrow with some more inside look into what I'm doing. Bye. Have an awesome day.